Hi, my name's Beth Leopold and I am a naturopathic nutritionist. I work at Archie Browns and have done for 10 years. Helen asked me to do a little video about well-being, so here I am. I thought I'd start by just saying through my learnings of being in the well-being sector for so long is it's not always, things are quite simple. Well-being is quite simple, but yet in the times that we live in can be very difficult and hard to achieve because everything is driven to encourage us to do things that aren't so good for us. I'm going to start with talking about being outside, and my kind of number one thing to do is to start by being close to nature. So getting out for a walk, going out into the woods, walking barefooted is amazing for our mental well-being. So taking your shoes off and going walking barefooted in nature. Walking close to the sea is incredibly grounding. So a lot of people go there and can feel so much better by being near the sea, and obviously this salty sea air is fantastic for our lungs. Sea swimming, now this has had a lot of press this year. There's been a few reasons for that, but one of the great things about sea swimming is it kind of causes a huge shock to the body, and this can shock the immune system and encourage the immune system to start producing more white blood cells, which is fantastic for our immunity. Also, sea swimming is very good for getting metabolism going and that kind of thing. When I went into nutrition, I thought that you could just fill your body with supplements and green powders, and you'd instantly have a ticket to good health, and this just is not how it rolls. So nutrition. So to break it down simply, I think I always think of meals as protein, carbohydrates and fats, and obviously antioxidants are things you add in and you try and make as many as possible, but I always look at meals and think I would like an element of all of these. Carbohydrate, maybe the smallest element, lots and lots of veg. Protein fairly high, so things like, if you're vegan, nuts and seeds, tofu. If you're vegetarian, you've got eggs, cheese. If you're a meat eater, obviously all the meats come under meat and fish. All those proteins are fantastic. So proteins, fats, carbohydrates. So looking at your meal as a balance of these things, and then adding in, thinking on top of that, now I need my antioxidants and greens and things like that. So an easy way to just think is how, looking at your breakfast and think, how can I do better than this? So if you've got a bowl of plain oats and porridge, you've made it with milk, or you've made it with plant milk, or you've made it with water, that's just pure carbohydrate. So I would look at adding in some protein in there, so you've got the nuts and seeds. Ground flaxseed is amazing. It's a soluble fibre, and it sweeps through the gut, carrying toxins out of the body, which is fantastic for our systems, because we've got a lot of toxins to deal with these days. Fat, there's fat in the milk if you're using milk, and there's fat in the seeds, so that kind of covers those bases, and nuts. Or you can add, if you want extra, you can add some raw coconut oil to the porridge. That gives you extra medium chain fatty acids, which can be a real powerful source of energy for us, and the body won't store it as fat, it will use it straight away. And then you can look at kind of adding more antioxidants to things, so berries, fruit into the porridge. So you can get frozen ones if you don't have lots of fresh, and you can just grab them out of the freezer and go from there. Even though I'm a nutritionist, sometimes I end up having the crappy breakfasts as I'm in a rush. So I like something called Life Drink, which Terra Nova, the company Terra Nova do, and it's a sort of green powder with frozen berries and protein and fats and all your so many antioxidants in there, digestive enzymes and probiotics. I could have a piece of gluten-free toast with almond butter and then have a nice green drink with it, and then I can feel virtuous. But ideally you would have the proper stuff, and then you can kind of just go from there. Your lunch can be adding in extras that you might not always have with things. So garlic is fantastic. Sneak a bit of garlic into everything if you can. Mashed potato, you can add a bit of extra virgin olive oil and garlic, and that's a nice little extra. And just like broccoli is fantastic for everything. If you can get more of that into you, that's always a good place to start. A way I always suggest to people to do that is just blanching it in boiling water for not very long, just till it goes bright green, and then you can just chop it up and use it in salads, or you could put it in a sandwich. I haven't done that yet. Salads, you can add it to soups, you can add it to anything, but you can just have it as, add it to your lunch, add it to your dinner, add it to a snack. And broccoli is fantastic, especially for us women. It is a very powerful helps with estrogen detoxification, which is really important right now. Supplementation, I like to think that comes into well-being for sure, especially if people are deficient in some things. So if you're vegan or vegetarian, I often find that there are areas that are that can be lacking. Things like iron is very obvious, but can be something to be looking at. Amino acids as well, which are the building blocks of proteins, can sometimes be low, and they're important for everything in the body. So looking out for signs of deficiency is good. Essential fatty acids, especially in a vegan and vegetarian diet, because our primary sources are for omega-3 are oily fish. Omega-3 is fantastic for our brain health, for our energy, for cellular integrity. It helps with inflammation in the body, so it can reduce inflammation. EPA will help bring inflammation in the body down, and DHA is more specific to the brain, but omega-3 is made up of both of these. I'm going to talk about vitamin D quickly, because that is also very current, and there's a lot of research going on around COVID and vitamin D. So vitamin D is the reason behind all this information is if you have adequate levels, seen to reduce the severity of symptoms of COVID. So that's fantastic. So get your vitamin D in. I like to take around 2000 IU a day. If you go any higher than that, always be wary that you need to take vitamin K2 with it. This is because it can alter calcium metabolism if taken in high doses. This is vitamin D, so always take with K2 if you go above 2000 IU. I'm just going to talk about a few supplements which I think are lifesavers. L-theanine is one of them. L-theanine increases GABA in the brain, which is something that is produced when your brain is in an alpha wave state. So if you meditate a lot, you will produce more GABA, and GABA relaxes, is a relaxant neurotransmitter. So L-theanine increases GABA in the brain, which takes everything down to manageable levels. So if people are having intense anxiety, that can be fantastic, along with lemon balm, which also does some similar things. There are so many supplements, but some of these are just, these are just my kind of go-tos. Magnesium, everybody knows, most people know about magnesium now and how great it is. It feeds into so many different cycles in the body for energy. It's a cofactor for so many different processes. There's a huge amount of people in the UK that are deficient in magnesium, and we are not getting it through our diets like we should. It's not in the soil like it used to be, so supplementation is incredibly important for magnesium. And it will only hopefully increase, help increase energy, help with sleep. It's a nervous system relaxant, so it can help with, if you've done lots of exercise and you're looking to kind of reduce the cramp or the pain the next day, magnesium can be fantastic for that. So it seems to kind of help buffer us a little bit, so help our resilience to stress, because it's feeding into all these other things, and obviously calming our nervous system down. Sleep is something which helps everything. And again, it's had a lot of press in the nutrition world in the last few years. It helps with blood glucose regulation, it helps with cellular repair, helps with so many different things. It's quite incredible. So getting our sleep better and having good night's sleep fairly unbroken is something to aim for when you're looking at overall well-being. So getting yourself into a routine with sleep, you can take supplements if it's a bit of an issue. I like to take 5-HTP and magnesium and hops, which is a combination called nighttime. Theanine again can help the body. If you've got quite a wired brain, can help the body, help the brain calm itself enough to get to sleep. And also it helps with, if you're waking up regularly in the night, it can help reduce that. Thank you for listening, and I hope it's been helpful. Cool. Thank you. Bye.